everyone, and welcome to Walker Bee Ranch. Today this video is going to be on making sugar bricks for overwintering your hives. I'm going to show you how I do it. It ends up being like a big sugar cube basically. So stay tuned, wait till the end, and thank you for your support, and I'll try to make this as quick as possible. Thank you. Oh, but before I get into that, I want to show you the newest member to our homestead, if she'll oblige, because she's kind of been kind of chicken for what she is, but here she is. We got us a little porker. She's back in the back. You probably can't see her. She's still kind of skittish. She's probably about 4 months old. She's skittish to humans even though I feed her. And she's clearing out her pen. She's back there. Okay, everybody. So when I make my sugar bricks, everybody has watched my videos knows I open feed. So I usually make 1-to-1 sugar syrup. So I do it. Oh, this one still has some in it. That'd be actually pretty good. So I've got just a 5-gallon pail that I mix my syrup in. Bees are kind of active today. It's kind of warm here, but we're supposed to be getting down in the 50s and starting to get a little bit lower because we are in October. But anyway, let me show you what I do. All right. So what I typically do is I've got some lemongrass oil, and I'm basically going to make some 1-to-1 sugar oil, or 1-to-1 sugar. This one's got a bunch of junk in it. It's got some ants and stuff that have found their way in. I must not have had the top sealed. I do have a little bit in here. No worries. I'm just going to add some drops of lemongrass oil. And then got my 50-pound bag of sugar. I'm not going to use it all for this. I'm going to use... Let's see if I can get this open. Alright, so I'm essentially going to add this in, some more sugar and water, and I'm just making 1-to-1. So right now, since I already had some in here, I'm just going to grab my hose, which is right off camera here. Apologize. Pull that through, and right away the bees start smelling it. And I'm just going to give it a mix with the hose. And right now I'm just stir it with my hands, and I'm just trying to break up the clumps in here right now. And that's fine. So I've got essentially 1-to-1 sugar water with some essential oil in there. If you use feeding supplement and stuff like that, that could be good for you. But that's it. I'll make some 1-to-1, and let me stop this one. All right. So I'm gonna try to do this. What I've got here, fresh from Walmart. Let me pull that out. You can probably get these little bread pans cheaper, but I bought them at Walmart because I was there. You could probably get something like this from the dollar store. If you want to keep rebuying them, I guess you could get the cheap tin ones or whatever, but this is basically it. So I've got a bowl here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this syrup I've just made, some slurp. I'm just getting a little bit. I'm not measuring this because it's more by feel than it is anything. And what I'm going to do is put sugar in this bowl. Just regular old, this is Walmart, the same stuff I feed them normally. And hopefully I don't make too much, but no worries. If I make too much of this, I just add it. I'll just drop it in the 1-to-1. So what I do is I just start adding syrup a little bit at a time, and I start just blending it. I'm just trying to moisten this sugar. I probably need to get more, really, but I'm just moistening this down to make it like a paste. And of course, it's got the lemongrass oil in the syrup. Let me get some more. It smells like lemongrass oil for sure. And what I'm doing is I'm just wetting that. So you can see this. I'm outside. It's probably not a good place to be doing this next to my bees, but it is what it is. And I might have to repeat this process a few times. So, you know, what I'm trying to do is just moisten it up. I don't know if you've seen that magic sand that they have at Walmart and probably dollar stores. But I don't want it too wet, like that's too wet. So I just keep mixing it with the dry sugar, right? Just going to keep folding it over and let the dry sugar absorb the moisture out of the wet sugar. Just keep folding it, and I'll try to speed this up in the video if it's running too long, but essentially I'm just going to keep working it and making it wet, trying to moisten all the sugar where it kind of sticks together. See how it's sticking together like a snowball almost? And I actually have more sugar. If I get it too wet, I can put some dry sugar, but I think I got enough dry sugar in here. And, you know, I got feeder rings on my shims. This is what I did last year. All the hives that I had going into winter did make it through the winter. So it worked out well. And I'm just moistening it. Just keep mixing it. This takes a little while to do. But a lot of people just, even my mentor, he uses a screen and just pours sugar on top of a paper towel or something. And that works for him. I like doing this way because storing it is easier for me. And then essentially, I have lemongrass and sugar water and just regular sugar that I'm continuing to moisten and mix up. I got a yellow jacket right here, and that's still a little bit clumpy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these and I'm gonna start filling it. And I'm not gonna fill it all the way. I'm gonna fill it basically, I don't know, hopefully you can see this. I'll try to smash it all the way to the edges and about halfway. And try to get it, you know, as nice as I can. I can always take any excess and put it back into the 1-to-1 I've got here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another one. Let me move this bowl here. Another pan and try to press it. Hey girl, got some bees checking me out now. So it comes out kind of like that. If you saw that. But it's kind of smashed. And then I'll just take these into a dry place and let them dry out. When they dry out, it'll be like a big sugar block that I can just set right in there. And then I can just keep doing the same thing. I only have 10 of these pans, so when I'm done, I can store them, you know, how I want to. I can put them in a tote or something. And then I set this right on top of the brood, you know, where the cluster is. And then, see, I got another one. Just get another pan. And I just apply some pressure so it's all joined together as best as I can. Apply some pressure. And just continue till I get all 10 of them, or as many as I can get out of what I've made here. And then I'll just do this a few times, and I'm just prepping for next or for this winter, which here in South Carolina, we're lucky. You know, I know a lot of places it's starting to get colder than here. And I've even heard of some people putting these in the oven on very low temperature to help. I don't want them too tall, because if I make them too tall, then we have an issue with them not fitting in my feeder rings. And this really worked out for me last year. I did it a little bit different. I used a cookie sheet, and it just made a big piece, and I had to break it up. So this is the first time I'm really trying it with these loaf pans. But I think we should be okay. And I'm just spreading it out best I can. And you know, the higher you go up in the pan, the thicker your block is going to be. And don't really want a thick block, because we need it to fit in the feeder ring. So we got 4 done so far. Whoops. Brand new pans. And I'll be able to use these pans again and again, hopefully. And since it's non-stick, this should pop right out when they're dry. Flip them upside down, dump them out. Then you have a block that you can set right on top of the brood. I keep saying brood, I'm sorry. On top of the cluster in the winter. There's a yellow jacket eating some sugar. And then we just smash it down. And I try to mash it and move it a little bit to push it to the sides. So I don't know if I got enough in here for one more or not, but we'll put in here and see what happens. You know, who knows? Maybe it's a half block or something, or a real thin one. Push that up to the side a little bit. Make a little square. So that's just a little half brick there. And then I'll smash it down on the side that the sugar's in, try to make it even. And it really comes out kind of smooth right there, so that should be good. And then whatever they don't use, is able, like if I make 50 of these, let's say, at the end of the year, whatever wasn't used over the winter, after the winter, whatever wasn't used, I'll just add back to this bucket and dissolve it in some water, and so it don't waste. I don't waste the sugar, because everybody knows it's kind of expensive. But anyway, that's what we got. And I'll try to do a follow-up to show you how it looks when I get them dried out.